Hey, Christoph here. Here's a summary of Chapter 5, since that is now pretty much almost done. So I'll just do a quick overview of how this chapter fits into everything and the two challenges inside. So in the bigger picture of our 10 chapters, we are now smack in the middle here. What's happening is that after our previous adventures, we're kind of at home, but then we turn the TV on and we see that Vanderpool's on TV claiming that he's a grandson of Satoshi and that he... and the lady, he talks a little bit to this reporter about it, and then, HoloCat comes to us and says, let's disprove his claim. So we're going to learn about signatures and signature verification in this chapter. Then we have the lesson content, and then, at the end we have disproven the claim, which is, of course, a fatal blow, or a big blow at least, to Vanderpool's credibility and that of his company and everything he stands for. So let's go look at the chapter itself. So in the main Satoshi file, this is chapter 5 workspace. I moved all the prior iterations of these screens into chapter 5 archive in case anyone needs to reference that for some reason. All right, so here we have these 4 rows. First is the chapter's overview page and the introductory screens, the storyline. We have 2 challenges in these 2 screens. This image is outdated. The latest one is already in the code base. We have the bit of text info for the story, and then we have these 2 challenges here for direct access. Then we have our usual storyline template that we use here. I need to double check on those background colors because it's slightly different between this one and this one. Something that I haven't looked at a ton recently, but I want to make sure that's consistent. Then after this, once we get into chapter or challenge 1, that's where we're basically learning about how to verify a signature, kind of what makes a signature and then how to verify it. And once we understand that, then in chapter 2, then we can see if verify if Vanderpool's message is actually following those rules or if he's been tricking around. So Vanderpool tells us that this is a message here with signed with Satoshi's keys. Then we talk a little bit, we have some introductory text about what that means. Then we go to the block explorer, we go to block 170, where Hal Finney claims Satoshi sent him the first Bitcoin transaction ever. So of course that should then include a signature and public key from Satoshi. So we retrieve those. These are very simple copy-paste challenges, so people become more familiar with where that data is and how to find it. Pretty straightforward. What do we do next? Then we need to figure out what the actual message was that was signed. That is the transaction, of course. To figure that out, we go back to the block explorer and paste the transaction blob. And this is kind of a new challenge. So we've had copy paste before, but not within this layout. Hopefully that's not a big deal to kind of relay that out. And then once we paste the transaction blob in here, this is also a new interaction, pretty much the only new one in this chapter. The different parts of the transaction data is highlighted, and then down here it is explained bit by bit, and that way the learner gets an understanding of how this whole thing actually works and what the individual bits and pieces are. All right, so now we actually this is kind of a complete the function messages. That's the second challenge. It's the second type of challenge you'll find in this chapter. So we have kind of copy paste, and then we have complete the function, and we have at the end you kind of combine all of these completed functions in one. So here we have a few lines that we need to fill in. User does that, gets a message. Now we finally have a message. Now we have a few more steps here, also very straightforward. I'm not going to go into that much detail, partially also because I don't totally understand the code, but it's all the same pattern here. If you're referring to this, also make sure to refer to Matthew's GitHub repository. You'll find this README file here that has the overall challenge outline, but for the specific code for the challenges, make sure to go into the JavaScript and Python folders here. That's where you'll find the actual challenges and challenge answers. Okay, nothing new here. Here's another one where we need to paste 2 elements. Also new, familiar elements, slightly different layout. Another complete the function. Then we go, what we don't have here between the chapters is kind of a success message. Good job, you know, completing challenge 1. Maybe something we could consider adding, but we don't have that right now. And then we go into challenge 2. That's where we then take our learnings so far and the information that we've gathered, and then we try to verify if Vanderpool's message is actually accurate and matches Satoshi's original signature. Again, we have a couple of complete the function challenges here. We always see the initial state and the completed state below. And then we run everything together here and see if it is accurate. And then at the end, as I mentioned, we go over into the success screen. We need a little bit more text. So basically we need to lead the user from, you know, kind of this nicely done here should already be kind of an outro that, like, you know, good job verifying that it's not Vanderpool cheated. And then we need to take lead back into the storyline. And then that storyline leads us into, or that end screen leads us onto the next chapter, which is chapter 6. That's, you know, Vanderpool is now really getting mad because we kind of exposed him as a fraud. And that's the next chapter then, which I'm also pretty excited for. So hopefully that was helpful. Hopefully I covered a lot of things. Make sure to ask any questions, anything that's not clear. Always happy to hear it. Thanks.